What's up, y'all? Today we're in Canton, Georgia to take a look at the downtown area and some other great parts about living here so that you can find out if this is the right city for you. So right now we're in like the downtown Canton area. This is the heart of the city, and you can see they've got these super old buildings here, and we're gonna go down this strip here. We're gonna kind of turn around and make a U-turn and give you a tour of this downtown Canton area. Just seeing these buildings here in downtown Canton becomes very clear how old the city is. Of course, if you have any questions about what it's like to live here in Canton or any part of Metro Atlanta, feel free to call, text, or email me anytime. I'm the one who answers those phone calls and those messages, and I'd be happy to help with any question that you have about moving here. Like this insurance building here is definitely something from like a long ass time ago, but they are obviously selling some kind of insurance. We got the Progressive lady there, but it's super clear just how old all of these buildings are in this city, and that's really one of the things about Canton that brings a lot of people here. They're looking for this kind of small town feel, this old time charm, you know. Check this building out. This is like a ice cream, hot cocoa place here. Like, dude, this is super nostalgic. And so there are lots of places like this. Queenie's is this restaurant here. This is super popular, great Southern food at Queenie's. Let's see what else we've got going on here. But like almost all of these buildings, all of these shops are locally owned. You're not gonna find a whole lot of like chain stores, chain restaurants here. And so this is definitely the kind of place where you go and you want to spend money and keep the money in the community because you're buying local. This is a great place for that. All of these kinds of stores around here. This is another one. This is a common kind of store in a lot of these downtown areas that have like these souvenir shops. Obviously you can tell this is during Christmas time when I'm filming this. And so there's a lot of stores like this with these kinds of souvenirs. And this is definitely the thing that marks these old cities like this, like Canton. Like we've said in many of the videos, there are the small Georgia towns that were established by the railroad. You know, like the railroad went through these towns, and so they were established long ago, and the economy kind of came from the railroad. Canton is just like that. It was established because of the nearby railroad. Here's a really good example of the kind of style and the kind of decor. You know, this is something that the community puts together, the Christmas tree, and I'm sure they had like a Christmas tree lighting. A lot of these downtown areas do these Christmas tree lightings and everybody's standing around, you know, and it's a big deal. And then they got the gazebo there. This is kind of like the center of the downtown area. We've made it to like the middle. Let me look down further down the street a little bit. You can see it kind of continues down there, and then it turns around. It's kind of a U-turn, and it goes to the other side of this strip here. You can see the other cars on the other side over there. And this little gazebo area is kind of the middle of this downtown strip area here. So super pedestrian friendly. You know, a lot of times people want to live in an area where it's easy to walk around and you can walk to the restaurants, walk to the shops. This is that kind of area. You know, you could live within a mile of here and easily walk to all of these shops or restaurants. There are some other great restaurants on the other side too that we're going to check out. But I mean, I think too, it's important to remember that like the rest of Canton doesn't all look like this. Most of Canton is neighborhoods with HOAs, and you can still find the big box stores that are around here. But this downtown area is kind of like the center of the city, the origins of the city of Canton. So this is why it looks so much older. All of these buildings and all of these businesses look so much older because this is kind of the center or the downtown area. But the majority of Canton is more suburban, like typical what you think of like a suburban area. Canton is a very good example of that. In addition to that, lots of people have been moving to Canton. It's becoming a very popular place to live. I know many parts of the country, home prices are increasing very quickly, and we're definitely still seeing that here in Metro Atlanta. Big cities like Marietta and Alpharetta, Johns Creek, these cities are increasing in value very quickly, but Canton is one of these cities that is increasing maybe at a faster rate than others. It's these kinds of cities like Canton that are far north in the northern suburbs that are seeing a lot of influx of people buying homes and moving to these areas and driving prices up. Now, it's for good reason. There's a lot of great things about living in Canton, but there's no question that home prices are increasing very quickly here. We're almost to the end of the road here, and on the other side, we've got down this little street here, we've got a coffee shop, Bazaar Coffee, which is super popular. And then if we keep on going down the road, we've got a jeweler over here to the left. We have Cantina on Main, and we've got a law firm. So again, lots of local businesses, not the kind of area where you're gonna find chain businesses. Let's see, we've got precision custom home buildings here at the very end. And then you can see the main part of this building kind of ends here, and it's kind of got this little undeveloped section over here. We've got Price Law Group there at the end. And then we have, surprisingly, a Synovus Bank at the end of that. Synovus Bank is kind of like the end of this little strip here in downtown area. Not very common to see chain things like this. So we're gonna jump over to the other side of this downtown strip over here and go see what this other side is like over here. Also at the end of this downtown area, they've got these Cherokee apartments over here. And so you can kind of see it's a very wide mix, very wide range of demographics that lives in Canton. As more and more people are moving here, it's certainly starting to change. Unfortunately, some of these lower income homes, lower income residents are being pushed out, which is definitely not what we want to see, but is just kind of, unfortunately, the effect that happens when an area like this continues to grow so much. All right, so we made it to the other side of the downtown area, and we've got the Cherokee County Courthouse over here. So it's kind of, again, in the middle of the downtown area and the strip. And then we're also going to check out the mill on the Etowah, which is kind of this mixed use facility, live, work, and play area that they have. Before we do that though, I want to go see the gazebo and all the Christmas decorations they have over here. They've done a great job of decorating this whole area here for Christmas. Let's see, they've got the Christmas tree over there, and then they've also decorated this one on the other side of the gazebo area. Oh, they've got a chair in here. I bet they've got like a Meet Santa thing going on over here sometimes. So again, super common. Like this is what you would see in a lot of these downtown areas. This kind of community event is super common here. And then they also, I want to just show you this. This is another one that we see in a lot of small towns of Georgia, like this little library thing here. So my kids love these. They come and they take a book, or they'll leave a book here sometimes, they'll trade. So it's just like a free library thing here in the middle of downtown Canton. They've got a few other shops and restaurants over here. Local on North is one of my favorites. And then we've also got the fire department, Cherokee County Fire over here. And then right now we're gonna go over to the mill on Etowah so we can check out that live, work, and play area that they have over there. All right, so we've made it to the mill. This is the mixed use area that I was telling you about. Right behind me is where all of the shops and the restaurants are. And then actually over here, let me turn this camera around so you can see. So on the other side of the parking lot over here is the Etowah River, which is a very major part of Canton. And then this used to be the mill, and the mill used to use that river to run. And then on the other side of these buildings is where the railroad is. And in fact, the railroad is still there. And it used to all be part of the mill. In fact, they still have the smokestack here for the mill. And so instead of leaving all of these buildings vacant and nobody using them, they kind of did this reclamation project and turned them all into shops and restaurants. And so now this is one of the best parts, one of the most popular parts of Canton. And many people come here. My family and I, the kids, love coming here to the mill on Etowah, especially during Christmas time. They also do a great job of doing all of the Christmas decorations and the lights at night. Super popular part of Canton. You can definitely see the age in these buildings here with this red brick, and you can kind of get an idea of what this mill used to be like. And then just down the way here, there are a few really good restaurants that I like. And then we've got the typical, like this super popular synthetic green grass that we see in many downtown areas. They've also got it here in Canton. We've got Reformation Brewery over here on this end of the mill, which is definitely one of the most popular places here in the mill. And then right behind me is that green lawn area. And then at the very end of the lawn area, you can see the big TV there. So we've often come here and they've got like Sunday football being played or Georgia college football being played there. Braves games are another common one to see on the big TV there, and people are like buying food at the restaurants here and then coming to sit out here and watch the game or whatever while they eat. So this is a super popular activity here in Canton. They've got the mill exchange here. So I'm gonna see if we can go inside. I'm gonna see if they will let us in. Hey there, hello. To give you an idea of what kind of store this is. So we've got lots of women's clothes over here. And then down this way over here, again, lots of like knickknacks and souvenirs, a lot of things that represent the mill and the Canton area. And so this is a great place, like super popular, this kind of shop here. I think what actually happens here, we've seen this a lot in many places of Metro Atlanta. There are individual vendors or like local people who rent these booths and then they sell their goods in this booth. This is a very common thing. We see this all over the Metro Atlanta area. And so you see a lot of like random things here. So for example, we've got a train set over here. And then on the other side, they're selling rugs or carpets. I'm not sure what that is. Some Christmas decorations. We've got all kinds of different things that they're selling in here. On a Saturday afternoon or like a Friday night, this place is packed with people. This is a super popular place. My wife especially loves going to places like this. Man, if I come to a place like this with my wife, we are going to be here for hours. So just a heads up, it is addicting, these kinds of things. Ooh, Christmas stuff. Let's go see this. All kinds of cool Christmas stuff over here. Man, I forgot just how enormous this place is. This is all here at the mill on Etowah. Like it goes way far down there. Classic Georgia football things here, Braves items. That's some more Christmas decorations they're selling here. Again, this is all local vendors who like find these things or make these things and they sell them here. I forget sometimes just how overwhelming those places are. It is just like packed with all kinds of things that they're selling there. And so again, this is a kind of common thing that you find here at the mill and a very typical Canton store. I think that store very well represents the city of Canton. You can still find the big box stores here in Canton. They still have all of those things, the Target and the Home Depot and all of those big box stores are still found here in Canton, but they're not like right here in the downtown area. They're more like in the suburban areas where the neighborhoods are with the HOAs. That's really where you find all of those stores. And then Canton is about 40 miles north of Atlanta. So it is on the outskirts of the suburbs. So definitely something to think about. It's not a very easy commute down to Atlanta. Many people who live here in Canton, they work either in Canton or they work in one of the nearby big cities like Marietta or Alpharetta. So definitely a great place to live. And it's certainly growing a lot. Man, just being in there was like overwhelming to me. There is so much going on in that store. I hope this gives you a good idea of what it's like here in the downtown area and in the mill here on Etowah. Whether or not you buy a home here really depends on a lot of factors. In fact, I made an entire video covering what it's like to buy a home here in Canton. You can check out that video right here. I'll see you in the next one.